Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how you can get started with .NET Aspire, especially for single page applications such as Angular, React and Vue. Before I go ahead, if you are new to this channel, please make sure to subscribe and like this video if you love the content. Let's jump into it.
I know you wanna take it all too far, stumble through the dark, trip into the stars. I know you want the dreams to
Open Google Chrome. Go ahead and type Aspire samples. Click on the first link. I'll open my terminal. Hope you are able to see the font. Clear it, cd, code, cd, ls, cd, net, ls. I can just directly clone that project here so that you can see everything under a folder called Aspire samples. I'm going to minimize this one, get into this. Before you do this, make sure you have Git on your system, Git -- version. If you have Git, you can able to see the version. I'm gonna click on this one, copy URL to clipboard, come here, git clone, press enter. Once it is done, I'm gonna get into that folder, Aspire samples. Here you'll be able to see one folder called samples. Get into that, cd sample ls. Here you can see a lot of folders. These are all for Azure functions, JavaScript, Node, Python. Among these, I'm gonna choose Aspire with JavaScript. That is where you'll be able to see Angular, React, Vue, and minimal API projects. I'm gonna type ls. As I told earlier, here you'll be able to see how we have several projects. I'm gonna open VisualStudio Code. Here you can see. Before that, I just want to show you a couple of extensions that I have it in VisualStudio Code. C# dev kit, .NET install tool. I'm gonna go back to this browse. Okay, we've been able to see two projects brought up by .NET Aspire. One is app host and another is service default. App host is the project where the starting point of the application. If I run app host, I'll show you. If I open apphost.cs, you can see our weather API, that is a minimal API, registered here as a project with external HTTP endpoints. That means I'll be able to access it via the port it is running. Okay, I'll show you that also. If I open launch settings.json in properties, you can see it used to run in two different ports. One is for HTTP and another one is for HTTPS. And here you can see HTTPS running in 7167 and HTTP is running in 5084. Okay, and that is what with external HTTP endpoints you can able to access minimal API using that particular endpoint. Here, if you see all of our single page applications such as Angular, React, Vue, all are registered with reference to Weather API, and all of these projects will wait for Weather API to be up and running. Before that, it won't run. It will automatically run by .NET Aspire. And if you see, all of these applications are with HTTP endpoints. That means whatever port we have given it, for that, it will run it on that specific port. I'm gonna close everything. If I come to service default, you can able to see extension static class that has all those default things brought up by .NET Aspire. Add service default, where it used to configure telemetry, health checks, service discovery, and so many things. You don't have to worry about all these things because it's all mostly brought up by the project itself. I'm gonna close this one. Before that, this project used to be referred in minimal API, because if you open the dependencies project as per javascript.service default, why I want to refer this project in minimal API is, when I open app host, you can see builder.add service default. With this service default project only, I'll be able to do things like health checks, logs, and metrics for all of our applications. So that's why you can see builder.add service defaults here. And if you see just a get endpoint, when I call weather forecast, it's gonna return a list of forecast. And that's it. I'm gonna close this one. I'll show you how you can run all of these projects together. You don't have to even do npm install to all of these individual projects. You can see we don't have that folder called node underscore module. Right click on this one, debug, start a new instance. You can able to see that it will automatically install all npm packages and node underscore modules folder automatically created in all of the projects. Once I put, let's see if it runs. Yeah, you can see now we have all of our resources in two different formats. One is table and another is graph. You can see it in a tabular format or else like this. Here green tick shows the service is up and running without any issues. As I told earlier, all of our applications are exposed to different ports. You can able to access that application separately also. When I get into that, you can see Angular is up and running, consuming minimal API. I'll open this one. React is up and running. React White is up and running. Vue is up and running. At last, our minimal API with Swagger, that is also up and running. Here it is using HTTPS. That's why you can see it is running in 7167. If I go back to launch heading.json of that particular minimal API project, you can see HTTPS is 7167. That is what it takes also. I'm gonna close this one. Okay. So in this particular resources page, you can able to do things like seeing console logs or view details, stop, restart, something like that. If I want to stop it, I can do it here itself. And when I reload this application, it won't run because it is stopped. And when I run it again, it will be again in running condition. Similarly, it goes for other applications also. When I come to this console, I'm able to see console logs for different applications. One is for Angular, like when it used to install npm packages, what and all happening, like at last the build, it as you know, Angular used to create files such as polyfills main and styles.css. That is what it happened here also. And when I come here to React, I don't see any logs. You can able to clear the logs if you don't want, remove all. Yeah, and you'll be able to download logs also in show timestamps, React White, Weather API. When I come into structured logs, you'll be able to see for Weather API, that application is listening on what and all ports, HTTP and HTTPS. Here also you'll be able to do things like viewing details, log message like that, and you'll be able to filter. When you click on traces, you can see like from where the call started and goes to where, something like that. You'll be able to do it. I'll show you. I'll click, I'll choose this weather API. I'm gonna clear all the traces. When I refresh this Angular app, you can see there is an API hit to this particular endpoint / weather forecast to pull a list of weather forecast. Okay, that you can see the trace here. When you click on this one, you can see this particular endpoint is hit and that return 200 status code. It's a get method. When I scroll down, you can see from where this API call happened. For example, localhost 49535 is nothing but our Angular application. When I scroll down, you can see it's HTTPS. You have so many things like telemetry, SDK name, telemetry SDK version like that. I'll close this one. And when I do another reload, you can see now if I open, I think this one, let's see. This is from 49536. That is our React application. Yeah. And when I go to metrics, you will be able to see for weather API, what's the request duration, how many active requests are there, and few things like connection duration, open connection, like that. You can have a look. Let's say I want to deploy this .NET Aspire project. What will happen? .NET Aspire takes care of deployment. You don't have to do anything. When you deploy this .NET Aspire to Azure Container Apps, it will automatically create 5 containers. One is for each application, and it will automatically establish the connection between those applications. That is what the real power of .NET Aspire. It simplifies the deployment process for the developer. That's it for this video. I hope you love it. If so, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.
Know just
Bye.
what you like, don't be surprised. I can read your mind.